My dear friends, welcome back to the new episode of Beyond the Horizon. That is third lesson we are presenting to you today. In the last episode, Beyond the Horizon number 2, we have discussed about the use of zodiacal belt. And in the zodiacal belt, we must have learned about it very properly. There are 18-degree width of the zodiacal belt, and each division of the zodiacal belt is having 30 degrees. Such 12 divisions are there, or 12 constellations are there. These constellations are formed, as we are told in the last lesson, with the naked stars within these 30 into 18 degrees of the zodiacal belt. Those stars has grouped together and given certain images to them and names also to them, and that is called a zodiacal signs. In India it is called zodiacal rashis. Now in this episode, what we are going to tell you, how to calculate one's age with the help of this zodiac belt. Why? Because throughout the belt, in the same route only, the planets are making around. The planets on those days, they believe that these planets have the supernatural powers to influence one's life in there. That also not planet. When the planets are traveling through the stars, zodiacal belt is divided into 27 stars. That is the reason. Because of that, the moon, which also travels in the same path, when it travels around the path, it travels in front of the background stars. Though there are 27 stars, these 27 stars means one star occupies 13.3 degree of the sky. So summing up, totally these 27 stars will be 360 degree. So these two things we are going to discuss in this Beyond the Horizon episode. Hope that you will be enjoying our lessons. Is any doubt or comments are there, you can very well express it in the comment box, so that for the doubts we will be clearing it up immediately on receiving the comments from the comment boxes. So each and every episode will carry a particular subject in the astronomy, the basic astronomy. In the next lesson we will be little more will be giving to you. So be with us, learn the things for a better tomorrow. Thank you. The last time we have discussed about the zodiacal belt. Now, in this third part of the lesson, we will be discussing how to find or how to calculate the age with the zodiacal belt. Now you can again look at the zodiacal belt and then understand what are the things depicted here. As I have shown you in the last time with the help of stellarium, all the 12 constellations are divided into the big circle that is called the zodiac, that is 18-degree width and 30-degree length. Because the entire sky will be 360 degrees. That 360 degree is divided into 12 divisions. That means each division comes 30 degree. Like that, width of that zodiacal belt, that is actually 18 degree. Thus, there are 12 constellations. Like any constellations in the celestial sphere, these constellations are also grouped together, the naked eye stars, starting from this point, that is called Aries, and then comes Tauru, third comes Gemini, and then come Cancer, then Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and then Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, last Pisces. Like that, 12 constellations. So, through the same constellations only, if an observer watch the sky and find that through the zodiacal belt only, the 9 planets from Sun to last one, Saturn, traveling. And each time taken by this planet is very clearly noted down by your ancestors or astrologers during 2000 years back. So, the rising Rashi or any Rashi or constellation which is rising at east during any time of the day is called the Lagna Rashi of the child who take birth on that time, rising time. That is called Lagnam. And the entire circle is called Rashi Chakra. Each sign is called one Rashi. Then 12 Rashis are included in Rashi Chakra. Suppose a child is born when the Rashi Tauru is rising at the east at any time of the day. This can be easily understood. Why? The birth time will be noted by somebody. At that time, a very experienced astrologer, he can very well understand when which Rashi is rising at the east. Then that Rashi will be called as Lagna Rashi of that child. Suppose the Tauru sign is rising at the east in any day. A child is born during this time of 2 hours, child Lagna is considered as Tauru. Then the date of birth of the child, time of the birth will be recorded in the horoscope. If you want to very precisely calculate the age of a child up to minutes, you have to note down that time of the birth very precisely, or the particular Rashi at the beginning or end or the middle. Like that, not only the Jyotishis will record the positions of the planets during that time of the birth in the constellations. It will be a lifelong record for that child. All the planets will be in any of the Rashi. At any time afterwards, if anybody want the age of a child, or is called Jatakan, can easily be ascertained from the horoscope by a simple arithmetic. Now let us see how this arithmetic is done. Here it is shown as a sample horoscope. That means this is prepared at the time of the birth. 12 columns are here. These 12 columns are represented by 12 constellations. And here first constellation will be Aries. That will start from the left top of the horoscope. Then comes here Tauru, here Gemini, then here it is Cancer, like that 12 constellations around this square horoscope. It can be written in circle also. There is no such rules. So, once it is written in this horoscope, the Lagna Rashis will be noted down, and the astrologer who noting down these things, he will note down the position of the planets in each constellation also. Here you can see it is written. In the Aries, it is Jupiter. Again, here Tauru, it is Saturn. And then here comes a Cancer, next Virgin or Leo. Leo, it is 3 planets are there. What are the planets? Here it is Mars is there, Mercury is there, and then Venus is there. 3 planets are there in the Leo. And then after Leo, it comes Libra. Libra also, there are 2 planets. One is Rahu, that is second node, and then here it is Sun, and third is here in his Moon also shown. Here in the last Pisces, Ketu is there, that means second node is there. Like that, if you write down or note down the position of the planets in these 12 constellations, that is very easily that can be used for calculation of one's age after any time. How it can be calculated? I will give you just an example by showing an ordinary clock. You see here it is an ordinary clock. Ordinary clock also having 12 divisions like this, 1 to 12 is shown. That means each division having 30 degrees. If it is 360 degrees, each division will be 30 degrees. So, here are only 3 hands are shown. One is hour hand, this is minutes hand, third is second hand. With the help of this clock, if you want to find out the time of in any day, at any time, and you want to know at what time I have early morning, I have took the breakfast, and now what is the time. So, for finding that, you can just see the hour hand first. Now it is at 12. So, from 9 o'clock you had the breakfast, then it will be 12 o'clock. That means the difference between these 2 positions only you have to know. So, you know one division is equal to 1 hour because it is shown by the hour hand. And then very precisely you want to know, or minutes, including minutes you want to know, you take the minutes hand position also. Or if you want a second position also, second times, you consider the second hand also. In that way, you can very well easily understand at any time how many hours has been lapsed after you had the breakfast at 9 o'clock with the movement of these 3 needles or 3 hands. The same fashion only zodiacal clock also. But instead of 3 hands in an ordinary clock, a zodiacal clock will be having 9 hands. But all the 9 we don't require because here the zodiacal clock is there. In the zodiacal clock, Earth is center and 9 planets are around it. Sun is there, Moon is there, Venus, node 2, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, node 1 and Moon. Like that. So, these planets, how much time it takes go around the earth once is written here. All the three items, that means Sun, Mercury and Venus takes almost 1 year. So, you can avoid these two numbers. You can only take one, Sun. So, you take notice in the horoscope the time of the birth of the child, noting down the rising of the constellation at the east and time of that, note down it in the horoscope. Then afterwards, at any time, you just go through a Panchanga or a ephemeral by the Jyotishis. They will find out the present time, what is the position of the planets in these zodiacal clocks, and compare with these two. The first position at the birth of the time also, and the second position at the time of you want to know the birth of the age of the child. Both are you are comparing, and then you will get the result exactly how many years or how many months and how many even hours or minutes you can calculate it with the help of other planets also. There is no difference at all. If you can take the moon, it will take 29 days. You take the help of moon for finding the exact month. And if you go to Jupiter, it will give 12 years for making a round around the earth, so that you can consider the Jupiter also for calculation, or you go for Saturn for the calculation. Like that, you can very easily find out the age of a person or a building or a temple which is constructed or born in the earth with the help of zodiacal belt. It is also a calendar. Why it is also a calendar? Very easily, with the help of the moon, you can calculate the month. And then, if the child is born during this constellation's rising time, or in the setting time, or in the middle, you can precisely calculate the time of the birth or time of the age. How many age has lapsed during this period, you can easily calculate with the help of this adjustment. And then last, we are telling you one more thing in this lesson, that is star of a person. What is star of a person? So, now we will learn what is the star of a person. This concept was actually developed in India during Vedic period. It first appeared in Vedanga Jyotisha, written by one Laghada. Purpose of star pattern was to observe the religious rituals like Amavasya, Chadurmasya, sacrifices in precise time. They noted that moon takes average 27 days to complete one round of the earth. That means, here is moon, it travels through the zodiac within 27 days. That means, it covers 13.3 degree of sky in one day. How it is obtained? We know the entire celestial globe or entire zodiac is 360 degrees. If you divide the 360 degrees by 27, you will get 13.3 degrees per each day. You can watch the sky during the night time. If you look at the sun and look at the moon, the position of the moon today might have shifted little bit eastwards the next day. That difference of the position is called a star. One's star. How one star is called? We will think about it. That means that position will be 13.3 degree east of the sky. In one day, each day it moves on the same zodiacal belt in front of the background of stars. We have seen that there are stars in this belt. Those stars are grouped together and called as constellations here. Aries, Taurus, like that. And this constellation, there are stars. If it is 30 degree, we know that the length of this east constellation is 30 degree. But the moon stand in front of the particular stars group, small group, that is called the stars of that person. In those days, in one of this position of the constellations, example, you take Aries. In the Aries, there are 3 stars. In the head of the sheep, that head of the sheep, 3 stars are joined together. They thought that it is the head of a horse and it's called Ashwini. In the same fashion, every 13.3 degree divisions are 27 numbers in each division. The child's birth is taken place, that if the moon stands in front of that particular position, that is called that star of that child. Why a star of a person is kept? That is kept because there was a belief that the stars are having good and bad omens. Every star, starting from Ashwini, and then comes to Bharani, and then comes Kartika, like that 27 stars are there. In North India, there are 28 stars, including one Abhijit. So these 27 stars having good and bad effect if the planets are traveling through this in front of the stars. That is the reason while making a horoscope, they note the star of a person, that child was born, also taken, noted. So this is the reason for that. Now we want to show you one thing. As our astrologers claim, is there any truth behind these constellations and the stars, person's stars, if we look at the sky? What is the real thing? Is it any illusionary thing which we imagine that the constellations in the sky? Here you can see one thing. I have shown you the celestial sphere, and we believe that Earth is at the center of the celestial sphere. And one observer, he looks at the sky, sees in the celestial sphere the stars are depicted in the celestial plane. For example, I have shown you the Aries constellations figure here. This we have already told. Aries have 2 stars. Aries is actually representing 30 degree of the sky. In the 30 degree, one star is actually 13.3 degrees. Second star pattern is 13.3 degrees. The first pattern is called Ashwini, and second pattern is called Bharani.
The entire constellation is called Aries. The person looking from the earth, he can see the stars, or all the stars are englued on the plane of these constellations. Because of our eyes' incapability to see the things in 3D dimension. 3D. We can't understand the depth where the stars are lying in the sky, how far in the celestial globe stars are lying. Previously, as I told you, these all things were invented during 2,000-3,000 years back by our ancestors. On those days, there is no instruments for the sky watching. You cannot blame them because they, looking at the sky, seemed that these stars are actually glued on the celestial spheres. Actually, it is not that. After evolution of the astronomy, several instruments have been invented, and with those instruments, each and every star's distance have been found out and recorded by the astronomy. Each and every star in the sky is not in a single plane. They are all distant, altogether distant, far away distances. Here itself you can see the Bharani stars are 3 numbers. The 3 stars are there. All the 3 stars are at different places. 1, 2, 3. The same way, here in the Ashwini, 3 stars are at a different distance. 1, 2, 3. Totally, if you are taking the constellation completely, the Aries itself is 3 stars are here, another 3 stars are here. All are not a single plane. Every star is a distant places in the celestial sky. At the time of finding out this astrology, the pseudoscience, they were not knowing it. Nowadays we know with the help of the science, we have found out where these stars are lying, how far each star is lying in thousands of light years. What is light year? We will talk about this afterwards. So, what is my intention to tell you that these are all just optical illusions, not reality. There is nothing real behind these constellations images or behind the stars images. That means in the astrology, with the help of these images and constellation, those astrologers or priests made out a pseudoscience is not at all real. It is totally false. Then question arises, why these people have done it? Because there is a clear reason for that. Reason is, those days there is no other way to find out one's age. After finding out some age, like the several type of omens, people feared about the omens. They feared about the stars also and the planets which is traveling these constellations also. They thought that these planets have their own power to punish the person who are taking birth or giving beneficiaries to the persons, those who may like. So, these are all totally meaningless science. Actually, Nowadays, there is no meaning at all. But unfortunately, people even still believe, especially the people like countries like India, people are a big portion of the people are actually believing the astrology even now. So, a totally feudal science. The complete real things about astrology we will discuss in a later lesson. Now we are concluding this lesson number 3. You must see the entire lesson properly and then ask the questions if there are any doubt and comment it in the comment box. Thank you.